Hi, welcome to my show. Today I have two special guests, Junior Binno and Anthony Toma, who have a show called Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. It's an awesome show. They came recently to the Chaldean Cultural Center and did 2 episodes with us. So I am so happy to have them here to learn when they started the show, why they started the show, and what's going on with them today. So guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Well, I'm very happy that you guys are here because I really liked what you guys did, the 2 episodes for the Chaldean Cultural Center. But aside from the fact that you highlighted our center, but the way you did it was really awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, the show is great. So tell me a little bit. I have a little bit of, I have a short video that talks about the show that you guys have.
Sure.
But just give me a little bit of background about it, like when it started, why it started, and then I'll play the video for our guests.
Sure.
Our audience.
You want to kick it off, AT?
Sure. So the idea came about in this man's head. He knew that I had this Chaldean email. It's called Chaldean Power. So back in the day, it was I would just get information from people that were looking for anything like a Craigslist, a Chaldean's Craigslist. And then I was on the board of the Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce, and he said, I have a great idea for you. And so I was like, oh, cool, come on by the office and let's share the idea. He said, why don't you do a show of people in the Chaldean community that are now not in the grocery store business or they're evolving into other businesses. You highlight each business and you do that and put a show out every week for that. I said, okay, great. Get in that chair and let's shoot the promo. He's like, what? I was talking about you, not me. I said, well, get your ass in the chair. I'm not doing this alone. He's like, okay.
Now, mind you, I was in there unexpected, to this. So I'm sitting with sweatpants and a hoodie on. Okay.
Okay.
So how that came off to the viewers.
So you didn't have your suit on or anything like that?
I don't even think I was shaved that day.
No, you weren't.
Yeah. So
he wanted to capture your natural beauty, right?
He did.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay.
He got natural. I don't know about beauty that day.
He did.
He's looking pretty beautiful today.
Yeah, he does look pretty sharp.
Thank you. Thanks. Well, you know what? Actually, it felt cool to know that I'm going to be on this show. Yeah. And it's because when you get on the other side, it's a different feeling. And then plus, I became friends with you through an interview, which now, this came out of it. And so now we're starting to help each other. And that's what you did is what we are doing and the reason of why we did this show. So, we grew up with a lot of stuff as a community, from whether it was hardships when we first came over here or it was when you got here, you're just in the trenches and working your 60, 70 hours a week and doing what you did. But one thing we did is we always gave and received from one another, and we always took care of each other, right, as Chaldeans. Mm-hmm. And we kind of lost that for a little bit, right? And we don't want to just blame it to say it's just because like our parents aren't instilling it or teaching it to us. Well, no, it's not that. With everything time, it changes, right?
That's right.
So we're experiencing that change, and it's really the show came because of what he was doing. Besides Chaldean Power, he was looking to gain more of the chamber members, which is something like that has evolved since 16 years ago. It started 17 years ago.
I'm not sure how long.
Yep, it's been about that. Yep, it's been about that, and what it does is help you see, again, would we have thought chambers growing up? No.
That's right. We are evolving into different businesses and different opportunities, and something like you guys are kind of scary though in a sense, because the idea of you just have an idea and then he just responds to it within a day. So I'm never going to come to you with an idea because it's like you're going to make sure that you're going to implement it. That's a little bit scary.
It gets even scarier. What do you mean? It was come stop by the office and just run it by me one more time to step into this room. We're going to go live. And I said, what?
Yeah.
And this was the next time he came by.
Yeah, and I was like, what do you,
On live with a message.
So now I'll have a warning. I have too many ideas, and oftentimes they're just ideas, but you guys are like, let's get to
he fires off.
Well, I wanted to get a commitment out of him, and if I got him on camera saying he said, he's stuck. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the thing. That's the yin and yang between the two of us. Why it comes through and it works. After we got to talking, then I started seeing where this could lead to. The first video was, hey everyone, we're doing this. Give us a name for the show. Mm-hmm. So we had a young lady by the name of Darlene Bahri, Darlene Salem Bahri. She pitched it out of everybody and came up with Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. And he called me the next day and he's like, you know which one's ringing a bell? And I was like, this one? He's like, no, man. He's like, Darlene's Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. He's like, it fits perfect. Who knows? Maybe the Kardashians will come after us.
Yeah, we're hoping, right?
We're hoping,
we were
you know.
saying, like, we're going to try our best
to help them come. So then as it started playing over and over in my head, if I haven't seen Wiam in 5 years after meeting her in 2019, I don't know what you're doing 5 years from now.
Yeah.
If I see you on Keeping Up with the Chaldeans, I get to keep up with you as a Chaldean member.
I love that.
I know what you're doing now. I can remember you. I know you're doing this podcast and stuff or whatever you're doing. And now I can reach out and say, hey, I'm doing this. Do you think we can maybe work with each other? Because I'm already doing it out of the community. Why not bring it back into the community?
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking to do. And, you know, you have to give credit because they show and prove its worth. But the Jewish community is very strong with that.
That's right.
Okay? And, you know, we follow them, even though it's more cultural on our east side. Chaldeans, they're more the ones that preserve our culture. The west side has started picking up some of the habits, but it's proving its worth, why the two can coexist. The east side, the west side, meaning the culture. Our culture is more evolved. Will we say we're Americanized now, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas to say they're still, you know, doing their thing as our culture would back home. Mm-hmm. But see, that's the two can come together and help each other out.
Yes.
And it's proven it with the show, you know.
Yes. And well, the art of storytelling. When you were mentioning the Jewish community,
Yes.
they understand the value and the art of storytelling and that how they keep their story alive. And they understand also that you can also have a business out of that. That is why they succeeded in Hollywood and other places.
Sure.
But you are honoring your heritage, you're honoring your experiences, and everything, the hurt and the wars that they've gone through, what they did is they took that energy and they put it into the creative field and even did it so successfully that they make a living out of it.
Right.
So understanding the value of that. And to me, that's what Keeping Up with the Chaldeans is about too. It's kind of like you're sharing stories.
Right.
When you came to the Cultural Center, what Mary was talking about, she was sharing stories of how this started. She was sharing stories about the Chaldeans and their history. So, and we had so many views. Again, I thank you for that opportunity because there's a lot of people that haven't gotten to the museum yet, and you helped bring awareness to it through your show.
So may I tell you, I just wanted to give her this, may I tell you how that all came to be? It actually worked in a funny way, but how it all came together, it turned out to be very well in the end. So we had interviewed Mr. Basil Bacall. We had done an interview, and we were talking about pilots. And they were talking about one of the first pilots and this. And I said, well, it's good to know you were a first pilot. And here I am sitting at the table. My last name is Binno. So we had a Binno that was in the war that served before him. Okay. And Mary caught the mistake. And that's how she got it. And she schooled us.
Leave it to Mary. Mary trained me, so I know.
So detail oriented.
We get this email, and he says, "You didn't know that your own cousin and my cousin Pat Katu, who serves at the board on Shenandoah, he called up and said to me, you know, if your grandma and everybody was alive right now, you know what they would do to you right now if they seen this interview?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Buddy," he said, "your cousin was the first pilot."
Oh my goodness!
So it was good to know. So that's how we got to you guys. And then he's like,
and so you're telling the story about you getting the views and us showing or highlighting the cultural center. We want everybody out there to know that it wasn't an entire, like we condensed the tour down. There is much more to see.
Yes,
and you should go there in person and see the cultural center and take an actual tour by a tour guide that knows the details. Because walking in there, we didn't understand how much culture and how much history was in those walls. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And I walked it. Good point by Anthony. I walked it before. My sister had taken us through there, us and a few guests one night. And you're looking around, you're seeing things. You read what you read, and you recall history and things. But at the end of the day, when you have somebody like Mary and any of you women who are involved in there to give us that tour, you change it around. From the second that we walk into that door, first thing is you look above it, and that was the first thing that you get explained to you, and then for every footstep you take in there, there's a different thing to understand, from the curtains to the ground every detail's amazing. So.
And the other day we were training retraining some of the docents, because we have a lot of people that have events there.
Yes.
Like for the bishop's dinner that's coming up, we're going to have the museum open. So we were retraining our docents, and what we were saying about it, us as docents, when people come in and we share these stories, every time we share a story about our history and heritage of our culture, it re-implants it within us.
Yes.
And then we, some of the people will take it home
Sure.
and share it with their families, right?
Sure.
But the other fun stuff is, because not everybody that comes is, some people that come Chaldean, we've had somebody from a scholar that came from Israel. But the fun part also is when the people themselves, they'll tell us a story that we're not aware.
Right.
Like, how Mary told you, she schooled you on that.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, there's, especially the elderly, they'll say, well, this and that. We get so happy when they hear their input. So, it goes like both ways, and we've really enjoyed that. I do have a little video that I'd like to share with people, because it has you guys' logo and just kind of gives an impression of how you guys work together.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm going to share that right now. Great.
Cool.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. This is our YouTube channel. I'm Anthony Toma. This is Junior Binno. Junior's going to tell you a little bit about himself, like just a quick background.
So I'm into retail business, and I've had that going for probably about 15 years of my life, owning my own and running my own. And I just like continuous business amongst our community to be able to drive it as much as we can.
Cool.
Anthony?
Yeah, so I'm in the modeling and acting space. I've also been in the supermarket space, liquor stores, roofing, bars, nightclubs, bowling alleys. I mean, you name it, I've been in it. Goal of the show, Junior, a little bit about the goal?
Yeah, well, I came to Anthony in regards to trying to get something to strengthen our community, to bring the diversity of all the businesses that we have out there and showcase it on our show so we can drive business to one another and continue helping the next generation to keep up with the Chaldeans.
Yeah, that's us. We're the Chaldeans.
Yes, we are.
The reason why you guys should watch is, you might get a little information about people that you didn't know. You might get some advice on how to start your own business. You might get some advice on how to overcome obstacles that people have faced. And, a little bit about how you want to be a guest or how you can be a guest is you go to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. We'll have the link posted in the description, and there's an application there that you can click on, fill out the application, and we'll coordinate a good time for you to come on the show.
And the people that we're looking for primarily is anybody that's doing different from what we grew up with, from anything, say, from the examples of when we came into party stores, video stores, gas stations. Outside of that means everything that's now changing and evolving within the Chaldean community. So we'd like to get whoever is doing different things on a different scale to influence the next up.
Come on in, join us, tell your story, give back to the community. You can also share and like this. We hope that you share and like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Again, all of the ways that you can watch the show or listen to the show. Explain to them
Sure.
where they can find us.
Well, primarily we're on YouTube right now. You can look it up by searching Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. But we're also, if you're in the car driving around and want to listen to us, you can find us on either Apple iTunes. You can find us on Spotify. You can see us on links through Instagram. Facebook also has it. If you can go ahead and like our Keeping Up with the Chaldeans page, you can also see us on there as well, too.
Again, all the information is going to be in the description. Hope you enjoy the show, and please give us some feedback. We're going to be posting a link to our, what do you call this stuff? Merch.
Our merchandise, yes.
Our merch.
Yep, we'll have merchandise available. Yep.
All right, so thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we can get you on the show.
Can't wait to see you.
Awesome.
that was pretty awesome.
Oh, thank
See
you.
Cool.
that you guys, have fun together and also do things very professionally too.
Thank
Good,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
And that's the old look studio.
The new one's cool. Yeah, we should.
We revamped it.
Oh,
yeah.
you guys are very fast.
Yeah.
You should. It's we are.
60 some episodes in. 65 or 66
Wow.
episodes in.
We started roughly around 6 months ago.
Around May.
Yep, around May, June, right around that time we started, and sometimes.
Been consistent. it
Yeah,
seems
we
like.
do Tuesdays and Thursdays through the week,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it instead of just 2 episodes during the week, it turns into 2 in a
4.
day to 3 a day,
Yeah.
and then it turns into now 4 through the week.
We've had such a high demand for people to get on and a request, and so we just instead of
To
putting them
accommodate.
out, like we're booked out until March,
Yep.
and so we double up days just to get people in, so
Yep.
they don't lose interest.
And sometimes, they'll give us a shout and say, hey, I couldn't make it this day. So we'll say, why don't we just bump you a little sooner, but we'll just add you to one of our 12s that we'll get you in there. Just like he said, just so, because, sometimes our schedules get to be so overwhelming, you lose sight of what some of the stuff that you want to get done. So,
And there is a lot of interesting things happening in the community regularly. Our community is growing in many
Jeez.
ways so that we're expanding into different subjects, into different careers, into different interests.
yep.
And you guys are trying to keep up with that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's not easy. I know
Yes.
that. So you're trying to incorporate the
Sure.
history of things, and then the old and the young, and
Yep.
that's a lot. You're
Yep.
talking hundreds of thousands of people. And I had learned, I didn't know this until I started working at the Chaldean Cultural
Mm-hmm.
Center, that so Michigan has the largest concentration of Chaldeans.
Chaldean population.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
because
Yep.
of all the wars and everything that has
Sure.
happened. And so part of it is like we kind of have that responsibility to
Keep
do
it alive.
what
We
we're
do.
Yeah.
what you guys are doing. That's part of the responsibility because
Sure.
it's our job, given it's our heritage and it's our lineage. It's
Right.
our job to continue these stories, right? And
Right.
to bring
Absolutely.
awareness to our community and help people, dispel stereotypes
course.
and enjoy like looking at these different stories.
Sure.
Even for people to see themselves on there, I'm sure they've enjoyed that as well.
Definitely. It
Yeah.
gives them a little bit of a sense of confidence
Exactly.
that they were able to appear on camera,
Yes.
that they're getting viewed, And mind you,
being
we're
heard,
Yep,
yeah.
we're still getting there. Our most views, you get 300 to 1,000, and then it starts ramping up from
Oh,
there.
that's good, yeah.
So we get it good, which people share. Plus, you get it's funny who nudges you on the side and says, "Saw your show." And you're like, wait, what? You watch it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And then,
right.
you know what I'm saying? So it's good to know that it's being effective. The people you wouldn't think to watch it are watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done some cool things. I mean, I want to say what you were saying. Besides keeping the culture, just to keep the culture, when you walk through that culture center and you do your job with teaching and also learning, like you said, the feeling that's getting through your body
Yeah.
is more of a Chaldean pride enhanced at that time. Your pride is just getting to be stronger.
Yes.
Like, this is my identity. Look at what it is. Look what I keep getting from it. Look what it keeps feeding me, right?
Yeah.
So when you have that feeling, you have that, we have that, we pass it to the people we
Pass it
interview,
around, that's right.
and they feel it. Their energy now goes to another level. So we're getting there. We're doing something creative right now. We're doing the first mixer in the Chaldean community.
And what is that?
Okay, so it's a social network event. Okay.
When are you having the next one?
It's the first one that we're doing. It's the first one that's been
I'm
done.
sorry, yes.
Yep, it's January 29th. It's at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Everybody's welcome. Okay. There's no fee. You're not part of some membership here or anything. This is just open to our community.
It's at
Zao June, yep, which is on
Maple and Telegraph.
Yep.
And how often are you going to have this?
We just started this first one to see
To
how
see
it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We have something bigger that we're going to lead to help out the community. But for right now, that's under the hat. But for right now, we're doing this to start with. It hasn't been done, and we're giving the ability to come network for free. That's what it is. You come there, whether you got a business card, whether you want to wear your T-shirts, just walk around and talk. It's a who are you? You know what I'm saying? Hi, what do you do? Who are you? And we want to do that to encourage it, so we keep, again, basically everything we've done from, like Anthony posted it, from our past episodes and the people we've had on to our future interviewees and anybody of their friends and family come on in. We're getting DMs. People are telling us they're coming in from out of town for this to check it out. People are coming in and saying, we can't wait for this. So it's getting a warm welcome. We're getting help from the ladies of the Chaldean American Ladies of Charity.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lisa and her crew, they're giving us a hand with
she's
things
good.
too.
Yeah,
Yep.
She's awesome.
She's awesome.
Yep.
She
Yep.
sent me. I don't think I've met her in person, but you know how sometimes like
Sure.
She's a doll.
But she sent me a most beautiful letter when I first started my job.
Sure.
She just she's the only person that really to welcome me
Yeah.
at the position and just said very beautiful things. So I'm looking forward to meeting her
Yep.
in
Awesome.
person.
June 29th.
Yeah.
Oh, she's coming.
January
I gotta
29th.
come.
I mean, January 29th.
January
Oh,
29th.
yeah. Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah,
I gotta-
she's gonna be there. So
Yeah, please
yeah,
come.
she's coming to support
and
us.
Jane Shalal, I know her from before. Is she and she also has been in communication with me as well. But I know Lisa. I'd love to meet her in person. Jane,
Yep.
I've known her from before.
Yeah.
I want to just mention something with regards to what you just said with about the pride and being Chaldean. So, what oftentimes people don't understand. So it's not just for the purpose of just feeling like, oh, there's something so special about
Yes.
Chaldean. Although there is a very unique history,
Sure.
and that combined with our faith and our ways of helping each other in the tribal ways. But there's also, I think, some people they don't realize. I don't know if you guys were born in Iraq either.
Here, I was
here.
born here. Yep.
Both of you.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I was born in Iraq, and I came when I was a child. And where we came from, we didn't learn about our own history. We weren't really even, not that we weren't allowed, but it wasn't even introduced. We didn't know what it was to be Chaldean.
Were you in Baghdad?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
until we came here. So sometimes people don't realize that is part of why we need to revitalize that within ourselves.
Sure.
Because we were not really allowed to elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's not just about being, it's not a thing of arrogance, but really just like the Native Americans
Sure.
here and them understanding who they are, it just makes you more powerful. And I think it also helps you be more of service to your community. And I'm not just saying your community as in like your neighbors, just knowing who you are. If my neighbor better understands who they are, where they're from, what their family was like and all their history, I think it makes for a stronger community in
Absolutely.
general.
Sure it does.
Yeah. So that's why that's important, and that's why highlighting them and allowing them to have a voice where they might have not felt otherwise that they had, it's very important. That's why what you guys are doing is very important. Where do you guys see, I know you mentioned some of the things that you see in the future.
Sure.
What else are you guys, I mean, you guys are like, I'm afraid to ask, where are you guys planning to go? I can see you having maybe very big dreams that you can't even share right now.
Well, I think the main goal we're sticking with is the help to the community. It seems like it's just going to continue growing and growing. I don't think we've even tapped a fraction of really what's out there.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you what recently it was a cool interview, something we did outside the norm. I told Anthony, I said, I've got to go visit my sister in Vegas. There's some Chaldeans out there that own a donut bar business, and I said, let me go interview them there so we can show what they're doing there all the way here. So we did that interview there. So we're not just Michigan anymore.
Oh, that would be awesome if you guys
Right?
just kind of like start wherever you end up traveling.
That's what we're trying to get to.
Because
Whoever's a
from my
Chaldean there.
understanding, yeah, there's like
We're all
Chaldeans in
over.
places I wasn't even aware that
Sure.
are contacting us now about projects that they want to do.
Sure.
So you guys already figured out the
Yeah.
importance of
Well,
that.
yep.
Right?
So that's step one is that you got to cover more people, right? We haven't really even tapped into it, even though we've done 60-something episodes. Also, we're going to start delivering messages. Like if there are situations that are infiltrating the community on a hurtful level, like this Monday, him and I are doing we're doing the opiate crisis. So we're bringing a panel. It's different than your normal, we're enhancing somebody's business or their skill set. This is people that have all dealt with it, but there is people within that panel, like a couple Chaldean women that are counselors. So you're bigging them up to say, look, you can go to your own sisters if you want to and get help if you need to.
Yeah.
And then we've got a woman who's gone through it with her own family and a young man, and so we're
thank God you guys are doing that because although this is a problem, it's a nationwide problem.
Yes, it is.
But every
Absolutely.
community, because of their background, they have a
Sure.
different relationship with it. And sometimes because we are very family oriented, which is great. But
Yes.
at the same time, that kind of creates
a little bit of
shame.
curse. Yep.
Yeah, it's like you feel like, okay, if you do anything outside the group,
Right.
it's like you have shame on you or something, and we don't
Right.
want to
Yep.
we don't want to lose our children, our people,
No.
anybody for that. We want to be more like loving and embracing of everybody.
And that's the thing.
And you're helping them kind of see that.
Yep, that it's okay to open up. It's okay to not feel shameful, because we always say this: would you rather feel shameful for the moment, or mourn forever? Be in pain to mourn forever. I'd rather be shameful for the moment, because you can recover the next day from
hopefully
it.
the goal is to hopefully allow people to understand that they can reach out, and there is no shame in reaching out. Our people are a little too prideful at times, and like you said, it's a curse sometimes, but they need to understand that they should reach out, and they could reach out, and there's no shame in asking for help.
Yeah, it's okay.
So you guys, I only have a few minutes left, but my analysis of this whole thing and you guys' show, so unlike the other Keeping Up with the blank,
yes,
you guys actually has message and meaning and depth.
Yes.
So, but I hope that it has the same type of appeal, because I think what you're doing is just so important.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Same with you.
And Chaldeans or non-Chaldeans to watch this, because we're all learning from each other. I think our history is so special.
Sure.
A lot of people don't even know that we're part of ancient Mesopotamia, and all the our teachings, our cuniforms have so many wonderful messages. And I know at one point you guys are going to get to that point where you can bring scholars, and there's going to be so many discussions. I mean, already seeing it in my head, and I'll be following you guys. I recommend anybody watching to follow not only Chaldeans. Again, we are part of the cradle of civilization. So there's a lot of teachings that we have to offer, and these guys are helping us do that. Any last words that you want to share before
we just hope that just so that we can spread the message a little wider, that people would subscribe, go to YouTube and subscribe to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans.
So you're not even asking for much.
Nope.
No.
Right?
That's it. That's the only reward we're looking for.
Okay, I'll start with me, and then
Fair enough.
I'll start with
Thank
me.
you.
Fair enough.
Okay, thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
I know that you'll be coming on again, because I have I sense that the pot is still stirring. You guys are going to be creating things, right? I can just see it in your energy.
You're next, though. We're getting you on next with us, all right? Yeah, we can't skip you.
You guys have a lot of energy in a very calm way too. You guys can make things happen. That's why.
Thank you.
Great. Well,
we
thanks for
appreciate
coming.
Thank you so much.
And I'll be writing a blog and sharing it on YouTube and stuff for people to be able to see the great work that you're doing.
So appreciate it.
God
Thanks,
bless.
Liam. Thank you.
Take care.
See you.